Okay, welcome and
to see Sparkle's Corner.
Welcome to see Sparkle's Corner. So I got here the 2 sticks of margarine melting. I skipped actually starting to film. I skipped actually showing me putting it in with the burner on and cutting it up, because if you cut it like this, it'll help it melt quicker if you just got it freshly out of the freezer. This here is my water that I got on the boil. And as you know, this is See Sparkle's Corner, and if you read the title or if you just clicked on it because this is your first video you saw on your recommended list, or because you subscribed, you saw it on your page, this is what I'm doing is a ziti, a spinach ziti bake. This was made about when I was 18, when I was learning to cook, give or take, or 19 or 20. I don't remember exactly when I first did this dish. So kind of bear with me because I'm doing this from memory. This here is the Monta Italiano Penne Rigate. This year, I'm using this because it was during my phase when I was using this for everything, even spaghetti, basically. And I got here, one slight change I have made. When I had made this, I had used the canned pasta sauce. I'm using the mushroom pasta sauce instead, because I don't have diced mushrooms on hand, so this will basically substitute. Then I've got here the cut leaf spinach, 2 cans of this. Each of these is 13.5 ounces. And I've got here shredded imitation mozzarella cheese. And then, unfortunately, I'm making one other change, is I don't have the block of sharp cheddar, so I'm using this as a substitute. And then I've got here the sliced cheese, American sandwich slices. I just basically got a whole bunch of that because I don't know how much I'm going to need for this, so I'll be counting when I'm putting it on for your convenience. And 1 egg, and for the chef, a can of Mountain Dew Code Red. Okay, so as you saw, I've got the heat on here when I added that, and as y'all know, traditionally I do not like to keep my utensils on the table, and I have unfortunately forgotten to get out one thing, and that is the lard, as I call it, for the casserole pan, which there it is.
I already did it.
Okay, I need this for the casserole pan. Tidbit, I grease every casserole pan, whether or not it's non-stick. Okay, so welcome to basically the start point, because the preheat's done. So now, at this point, I'm turning this down to 3. I'm going to pull this off to let the pan cool down a hair, because I'm now adding the pasta sauce. Now, when I made this originally, I was at the experimental point trying to make casserole pans easier to clean. That's why I'm both greasing and am using butter in the sauce, or margarine as I prefer. In fact, I prefer Imperial. You'll find every casserole, almost everything we make will be using Imperial. Now I'm opening the cans of spinach.
Imperial is See Sparkle and David's favorite brand.
I'm opening the 2 cans of spinach and adding.
Just splashed.
And I splashed. Whoopsie.
Poor Betty.
Now you'll notice that I added this one with the liquid. This one, however, will be getting a different treatment. We're going over here to the strainer, because this one is for spinach. I want just the spinach out of this one, no liquids. You just missed that. I just threw the cans right into the recycling from a distance. Now what I'm doing here is I'm squeezing as much of the spinach liquid out as I can, because I don't want this spinach liquid in it. Now, for those of you who are scientists knows that spinach liquid is a denser liquid. However, plain water is a lighter, cleaner liquid. This will help get the liquids out, and water will be easier to squeeze out of spinach. Because I just want the spinach. I don't want the liquid from this one.
Don't break the spoon.
Okay, now I'm coming back over here and getting my slotted spoon. Now, this type of dish traditionally needs like 2 people to do it. Hey, Christian, you want in? You want to help out some? Hop on in here, man. Now, I'm just calling for a backup because I kind of need some backup. Now that I got the spinach in here, I got the spinach in this.
And we welcome in Christian. Everybody knows from past videos.
Here's Christian, my backup.
Sparkle's corner.
The gamer. The game enthusiast.
Okay, now as you can see, I'm getting this mixed up because this here is the sauce half of it. I want to slip this back onto the on 3 burner, or low high as I like to call it. That's just above. That's just basically below medium. If you've got one with the low, medium, high points on it.
Smells good. So mine for the medium ones inside the sauce. Other than spinach.
I have to watch a video.
Alright.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring it up to 4. Then if you got the stovetops with the medium, that would be just exactly below the medium point. Alright, now once it reheats back up, it'll be time to add the cheddar cheese and the mozzarella and the egg. As you can see, this dish here has actually got quite a bit to it.
Tip and hint for those viewers, if you have a water that you need to keep cooking on high and you're worried about overboiling, a cool breath keeps it from flowing over all over the place. Or
Gently glow.
or this. But it's still, you know, there's just too much water in this pot. Just a hair, but we're gonna just go with the flow.
You get it?
Because our double boiler requires very little water because it's heat condensed.
That's a spaghetti pot, by the way.
Spaghetti pot.
Okay, now this is reheated, so now it's time to add the second stage ingredients, starting with the egg. The egg goes in first because you got to get that broken up.
Surprised I didn't crack it with a joke. Eggs.
Now the reason I'm doing this just below medium is because this sauce here is, I'm going for a very different consistency than I normally do. Because this being the spinach ziti bake. It's a very different dish than probably you've ever seen. Okay, now it's time to add the cheddar cheese. And it's time for the mozzarella to take its place. Now, you gotta keep one burner free for this one because the mozzarella here needs just the ambient heat, as I like to call it. Basically, this is going to sit here for a bit. Okay, that's the cheddar. Now, if you're going with the blocks, the cheddar cheese block, you'll want to do that in a separate pot. But because this is this type of cheddar cheese, it's not necessary.
Thank you.
Okay, now you just gotta kind of take your time and just go nice and easy with it because the sauce now is going to the more delicate phase. Okay, now as you can see here, I'm mixing the sauce to get that right consistency that I'm aiming for. And this is why I strained out the second can of spinach, but not the first one, is because if you added both cans of spinach complete with the liquids, you'd have too much spinach juice in your sauce, which is what you don't want. All right. And the reason this is sitting here is because this is taking advantage of the ambient heat coming off of this pot, mainly, not this one.
It's gonna melt.
Well, that won't melt. Unfortunately, you can't do this if you're using a gas stovetop. You can't do this if you're using one of the ones with the heating coils. You can only do this if you got this type of stovetop right here. Also, it won't work with the magnetic stoves too. But what you can do is, if you don't have those, is you can take another pot, put a burner on low, and just dump this into the pan to warm this up a little bit. But you'll see why you need this warmed up a little bit when we go to the third stage of this dish. This will be final assembly. Alright, it's got to go up to high-low. That's where basically just above medium.
Called medium high.
Or medium high if you've got that style of stove. Alright, this is almost ready.
Yeah, it's almost done. Kind of.
Alright, now it's time to check the ricotta. Which you want to just kind of get just one of them. You need to get it to casserole done. Not al dente, not done to eat. You want to get it to casserole done, which is different, which it's not casserole done yet. So my buddy here, Christian, has got to kind of keep at it. Alright. Yeah, this is starting to get there. Alright. Now, I'm going up to medium high. That's just where you're very close, like 2 dots from high. If you're at that style stovetop. Because this, I need this and this to get to the right stages of done. Because I can't let this get cool when that's done for assembly. So I'm kind of just rushing this one just a wee bit, but it's still okay. As you see here, the cheese I put in ain't right yet. Ain't quite at the right stage I want it yet. Alright. Now I'm going to turn this over. And when I reach back here, grab a Mountain Dew. Set that back onto the burner. Just do it. Okay. Now let's see how the Mozzarella is looking.
You gave me so many names. What is it?
It's ricotta. It's not Mozzarella.
It's ricotta.
Okay, this is casserole done.
Ricotta's a cheese. Oh snap.
Ricotta.
Make clear.
Alright, let's move it.
Penne Rigate. Penne Rigate.
Okay, let's check this. Now we're going to let that sit there for a few seconds while I come back over here. Pull this off of the heat. Cut that off. Take this all the way off of the stove. Yank this off. Now Now let's eject the mozzarella. Okay. Spoon that in to the sauce. The sauce heat gets this ready for the final stage. Now what I'm doing is basically I'm just letting the heat swallow up the mozzarella to get that to the right type of done I want. Now, while this is sitting here, that's sitting in there, venting. Lift that up. There we go. Now I'm going to come over here, move the spatula butter, and I'm going to grease it. I'm going to grease that after I wipe it. When you're cooking, keep a towel handy. Professional tip right there. You never know when you need a towel in a split second. Okay? Split second toweling done. I know it wasn't a split second, I was just being funny. Get some. Let me get this, be right back. Let me get a spoon. Alright, there. Now grease with the intent of not sticking. Now if it's winter and you're doing this and you don't really have your heat on, a little tip, you could take a wad of the lard here, put it in a pan on low heat to soften the lard up for you to spread it on your pan. Just saying. Lard's non-flammable really, with the shortening. You want it in the pan, of course, not on the, just low heat, very low. Just kind of warm it up a bit to get it loosened. Kind of like, of course you can't do that with a gas stove, so I don't think, I don't know. Okay, now that's all nice and larded. So look at that, look at all that nice lard in there. That casserole ain't sticking. Okay, now then, because this has been greased, I'm going to use this as a temporary home for my final base assembly. All right, which I'm just going to kind of use this to get that all nice and mixed up, and then I get my sauce here. Why don't y'all tell me I left my spoon in the pan? I mean, if I dump this in there with that spoon in the way, I get this very. You know, I would have gave me an excuse to lick the spoon. Y'all should have told me not to move the spoon. All right. Now then, get that out of the way. Get the both spoons in there. Get some mixing action. Okay. Now I'm just going to add this for fun because this Parmesan here, it's really jokingly low. So this is a good chance to get rid of any leftover Parmesan cheese you got. It's just like, why are we keeping this? I mean, you don't even get enough to put on spaghetti with that little bit. That recycling. If you got any partial cheeses laying around, this is a good way to just kind of just dunk it in there. That's really the primary function of my spinach ziti bake. Is any leftover cheeses, I can just kind of like get rid of it by tossing it in here. Okay. I didn't really add anything to it. Okay. Keep one spoon. Eject that one into the sink. And then give it a little bit of lifting action. Now, a little tip, you want to be very careful. You might want to use a different pot because this is still a wee warm, not enough to really burn you. But if you don't really like heat, use a different pot. Even though it'll still get a wee bit warm at this point. Just saying to be a little bit careful. Also, at this point, you might want to like have an extra set of hands if you don't want to be really safe. Okay. Now, if you get to wash this quick enough, this will come out spotless clean with water and no time. But you know what I'm going to do? Just to make it a little bit easier. Remove this and this, and I'm just going to kind of put some water in there. Okay. Now watch this. So look at that. Water's just knocking that stuff right off. So I'm going to show you right now how easy this is to clean. Look at that. Look at the bottom of that pan right there. Came right off, the water knocked it right off of the pan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let that get some water in there, make it easier to clean. And now let's use this for now. Now let's use the spatula because it's nice and flat, level is soft. Okay, now the spatula's done its job. And now, I'm going to turn that water off for now. Okay, now the sliced cheese. Now, the amount will vary depending on the depth, what type of pan you're using. That's one slice. 2 slices. At this point, you get your family members to help, your kids, whatever you want to help you. To kind of have some fun, you know, do a layer of cheese. That's 3 slices of cheese. Four slices of cheese. There's 5. Now, you can go through the middle and then fill in the sides, or you can do a full circle, like I'm doing. Or you can just put a layer of breadcrumb top on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 slices of cheese. Seven. 8. 9. 10. Okay, to serve its extra function, you just used up the loose slices of cheese we had in the refrigerator. Now I'm opening a new pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. 12. 13. And 14. Okay, this particular pot here used 14 slices of cheese. Now I'm going to take the remaining cheese and then just pop it right here in the fridge. And in about 2 seconds, I'm going to turn it into sea sparkle.
Thank you for joining. My son is going to be cooking this at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I'm sure it's 350. Yeah, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. We're also going to have garlic bread with it. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. Thank you for watching. And feel free to subscribe. Stay tuned. Don't go away. And as always, the fun never ends in the world of smart. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome. And it's now thoroughly done. And get a little knife for the garlic brush I forgot to grab. Do. 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 Do.
You could fold it over and kind of.
Now I just want to kind of just quickly garlic bread. There, just get a piece of garlic bread quickly. I'm gonna get some my spinach zitsebek. Just kind of, you know what? I need a storage plate. I like to put stuff on the clean table. So if you use a plate, you can put stuff on the plate. That way you don't dirty your table up. Like that. See, look at that. Boom. Now don't touch the table. Keeps the table clean. And then, there we go. I'll put that on there. Okay. And, garlic bread is, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to taste this in garlic bread, am I? Oh, whoops. Yeah, you know. Yeah. The garlic is good. I recommend garlic bread. Yeah. Alright, enough on the side. Let's this is the sucker. This long since I've had it, I was starting to forget what this tastes like. Yeah. Real good. Okay, it's good. It's tasty. I'm gonna eat this. Now you go make it so you can eat it too. I'll catch you later. Whenever ends the world smart. As I say, this is Sparkles Corner. Catch you later. Bye bye. Now we're gonna go eat.
Feel free to subscribe and thank you for watching. The fun never ends in the world.